So I'm going to get us going today by introducing our first speaker. And this individual has been such an inspiration over the last year. So if you have not been hiding under a rock, you have probably seen her on CNN, MSNBC, People Magazine, just to name a few. But what was so impressive to me and made me so proud is being able to watch a live stream of the congressional hearings in which she testified in front of Congress and represented the MPS community in an amazing way. Not just sharing her story, but also just advocating and educating the entire world about what MPS was and what it meant to her. That was very incredible to see. So she is truly an inspiration. So I'm going to let Isabel Bueso come up as our first keynote speaker today. So, Isabel.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm so happy to be here today with all of you. This is my first time attending an MPS family conference here in Orlando, and I just cannot wait to meet more families in my beautiful MPS community. My name is Isabel Bueso. I'm 24 years old and live in California. Today, I will be talking about my own advocacy experience and why I think it's important to speak and generate a change. I'll be talking about the advocacy of my parents, the advocacy of my school years, and of course, just recently, the advocating for others, but in a higher level, the government. So let's get started. So before I start talking about advocacy, let me tell a little bit about myself. I was born in Guatemala City. When I started experiencing some health problems, my parents took me to the hospital in Miami because doctors in Guatemala, they were not sure at the beginning what was wrong with me. They didn't have enough knowledge. But they recommended me to go to Miami. In Miami, after seeing so many doctors and doing many, many tests, I was diagnosed with MPS 6. At that time, the only treatment for me was a bone marrow transplant at St. June Hospital. But unfortunately, there was never a match for me, and we went back home to Guatemala. But then my parents learned through an article about a boy named Ryan Dan who had MPS 1, who was receiving an enzyme replacement therapy. My parents contacted the MPS Society and learned that doctors in California were looking for patients with MPS 6. I was part of the third clinical trial for Naclazine. Thanks to the advocacy that my parents have done, and I'm able to have a treatment, and I've been receiving the treatment for now 16 years. I also had the opportunity to meet other amazing patients with MPS. So now, talking about my parents' advocacy to find the treatment, now I'm going to talk to you about the advocacy in my school years. So during my school years, I noticed that some of my classmates were curious to know more about MPS because they never heard it before. So I decided to educate them about my condition. So I talked with the leadership team, and in my senior year in high school, I organized a week event about and talk about MPS and invite other students who were born with a rare disease and just share their story. It was kind of like a celebration week. I continue to bring awareness for rare disease during Rare Disease Day at my university. So I started doing this in my senior in high school, and I did college, and I just did one recently. So it's been 6 years that I've been bringing awareness about rare diseases. But I continued doing that in my university for 4 years, and I was the founder of the first scholarship for students with rare diseases at my university, Cal State East Bay. Here comes an amazing opportunity that you should not miss as patient advocate. I joined the group of the MPS advocate, and it's so important to educate. Sorry. And it's so important deeply to educate legislators about MPS so they can understand the need of our community. And I learned so much from those trips at Washington, D.C. For the past year, I always took the opportunity to participate in events where my voice can be heard. As you see in the slides, those are some of the examples I done in my years. Other thing that I have done and supported is to pass bills and to testify and to pass them. But most recently, as most of you, or maybe not most of you, might know, the most recent my advocates took me into a different level. Last August, Immigration Service decided to terminate the medical deferred action, a program that has been allowed my family to live in this country legally. My family and many other families across the United States received a letter to inform that we need to leave the country in 33 days. Families and kids receiving life treatment. Can you imagine that? Of course, I was overwhelmed, stressful, and just terrified. What could happen in those 33 days? No treatment, no my team of doctors, no medical care, nothing, and just go back to Guatemala where I know that there's nothing over there. But I decided to speak up. After I cried and was overwhelmed, I decided this is not the end. I have to do something, not just for me, but for others. So I speak out on behalf of my family and others. The first step is to let people know about the problem to gain support. So a change.org website was created, and many people were supported and were with us. And deep from my heart, appreciated all the support from everyone. The second step is to reach out to the people that you know that can make a change. So I met with our leaders. I met with House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, Senator Feinstein, and then I also met with Senator Graham and Majority Leader Kevin McCartney. And I didn't have time to put the photos, but I have those photos. And I shared my story and the problem. And I told them we have to do something because this is just unacceptable. Because it's a humanitarian issue. It's not about taking sides. We're talking about human life here. So it's important. And then the third step was to share my story at the congressional hearing on September 11th, where I share my story, the situation, and hopefully a solution will come. As a result, the program was restated, and patients can continue with their medical treatment. Thank you. I have learned that nothing is going to change if you don't speak up for yourself or for others. Our voice matters, and together we can create a better world for us, because everyone deserves to have their medical care. Thank you so much.